Welcome to Ferring, a small seaside town in West Sussex on the south coast. Ferring is between Littlehampton and Worthing, along the new number 11 bus route. It's not known for glorious sandy beaches, but there is a shingle beach at the outskirts of the town. I hopped off the bus here, but when people laughed I decided to walk off it normally. I planned to walk across the pedestrian railway crossing, only to find out they closed it. I wasn't angry about this at all. Oh, for f***'s sake, you f***ing The sign says, "In the interest of public safety," clearly forgetting the fact that just up the road is a level crossing where anyone could easily walk onto the tracks if I had the urge to. This video hasn't turned out to plan for a few reasons. The main one being that I lost my external microphone, so I lost all the audio. I was using that mic just for background audio as my camera's mics pick up a lot of wind noise. But where the wind noise is too much, I'll use generic background sounds that I'll choose for their realism to match the scenes you're seeing. If you've seen other videos from me, you may be wondering what's happened to Chichester Part 2. What's happened is that I've scrapped it due to both lack of interest in Part 1, plus the fact that it was raining so hard that I had to film using my low quality action camera because it's waterproof, and I'm really not happy with the results. So my heart just wasn't in it. If I get thousands of people begging me to make it though, I'll happily do so. By the way, if you're craving to see my face while speaking to camera, please use the comments to request it, along with a large donation as an incentive. In the past I've talked about history of where I've visited, but I'm not sure anyone's particularly interested in that, so at least for now I'll concentrate on what Ferring looks like now, and anything historic I tell you may not be accurate. Dinosaurs first colonised this town back in 32 billion BC. The shops they built were made of leaves from local trees. They lived in huge mansions made of the skeletons of old rivals. Rumour has it that one of the first trains to run through Ferring was driven by a resident dinosaur. Although the trains have modernised since then, the service is somewhat similar. If you don't believe these historic facts are true, please let me know in the comments. If more than 100,000 people request it, I shall consider doing more research for future content. I filmed this the day after Halloween, and it was nice to see several houses with displays in their front gardens. I've never seen that where I live in Rustington, probably because Rustington is mostly full of older people who are boring with no soul. If you happen to be American watching this, I should point out that we don't celebrate Halloween like some Americans do, although maybe Ferring does, going by these amazingly spooky displays. Do I really need to explain what all these places are? A pub, some houses, some shops, all pretty standard stuff. As I arrived at the loos on Ferring Green, I hastily relieved myself using the facilities. It was just in time before I felt forced to top up the water level of the Rife, which we'll see later. Now I felt more able to walk without crossing my legs like those race walkers whose feet aren't allowed to touch the ground. I walked around to see what I could find. Just down the road is the Ferring Country Centre, which is a charity for people with learning difficulties where they look after a variety of animals. I looked this up on the web to find the name of it while making notes, and the AI result said that it's a place for disabled animals rather than people. Never believe anything AI tells you. Walking across these fields that sometimes have horses in was where I spoke a little, but as I lost my mic, you'll have to put up with me narrating instead and some generic background noise I've added, including sounds of the distant animals. Look, the fence is right there. I need to put my hand there. Oh, I don't like this. There's no one around. I won't feel too stupid. Doesn't look like there's anyone around. How am I going to get my leg over? Oh, for goodness sake. I'm not sure how to do this. I need my other hand, but I'm holding the camera. How am I going to do this? Let's switch hands. Here. I have to remember I'm going to come back as well. Oh no, my leg's stuck. I can't get back. Okay, done it. This stream is called the Ferring Rife. It leads out to the sea by the locally famous Bluebird Cafe. If I wasn't so lazy, I would have walked there to show you. I have been there many times over the years, and when I was last there, the car park had so many deep potholes that you could easily get lost if you fell down one of them. I've never been inside the actual cafe, but I have used their outside loo, which is about the size of a shoebox. The other end of the Rife is at Durrington, only a few miles away. The path was a little muddy and I was only wearing slip-ons. Since buying these slip-ons about 2 years ago, to save me squashing my lungs as I bent down to do up my shoelaces every few minutes, I've worn them everywhere I've been. I really do recommend slip-ons to everyone who's got a fat tummy like I have. These are made by Skechers and they call them slip-ins just to be different. The mud got worse at this bridge, but I skillfully managed to avoid falling into the puddles. This is where I realised my microphone was no longer attached. I wasn't at all angry or frustrated. Say you f***ing to walk to the ruins in this field, but without my mic I didn't bother. I might go back another time if anyone is interested. However, not long ago I took this aerial footage of the ruins, so I hope this will do. I know nothing about them, so I'll just make something up. These ruins were built by Egyptian farmers back in the year 640 AD, just before the Labour Party started making plans to ruin the country. The building was made of breadsticks and each stick sealed in place by melted cheese made from local goats. A local myth suggests that this was a temple used to worship the large sky torch known today as the sun. Well, I think that's enough nonsense for today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hate being typical and asking for likes and comments, but please like and comment. Oh, and subscribe as well, of course. Let me know if you found this amusing or utterly pathetic, so I know if to use the same style in future videos or to make them slightly less pathetic. If you haven't enjoyed this, click the dislike button, then comment to explain your reason, giving your home address, clearly for administrative purposes only. See you next time.